Hi, I'm Scott.
I'm Michael. I'm watching Two Fat Bitches. Oh, 'cause let me.
Don't worry, I got you.
No, it's too late. I'm just. Let's just go.
Scott.
And I'm Michael. And we're fat bitches on a couch. We're two of the fattest beaches. Did I say bitch? Wow. Okay. Okay, go.
I'm Scott.
No.
Oh, normal?
Yeah.
Okay, energy. This is the grossest drink I've ever had. I'm Scott!
And I'm Michael. And we are two fat beaches.
We're not on a beach, but we are PHA capital T.
Oh, not capital T. You know that's infamous for crystal.
Well, I'll explain our teeth. I'll explain our teeth.
Oh, we won't talk about my dentist trip today. Let's just say I'm gonna have all this got to be ripped out. But anyway, welcome to another episode of What's in Your Cup. Mm-hmm. We're gonna talk about what's in my cup.
You go first.
So, due to trying to figure out how the whole reaction realm works and what you can record as far as like pulling movies and stuff, we run into a snag from our first real one to Birdemic, which we still hope eventually to get done. We just have to figure out how to get the movie from. So, in lieu of that, we were deciding, because it's Pride Month, let's do some try not to laugh challenges, the gay edition, because it's Pride Month.
When I tell you those were the dumbest videos, I have never rooted for homophobia more.
I no longer like Pride. I'm no longer a fan of Pride, period. I don't like homosexuals. And it wasn't even mediocre. It was lower than mediocre. And as you said, maybe we're just older.
Maybe we're old. We don't understand the
TikTok. The humor, because it's just the humor itself. Like, so we were watching a compilation of videos pulled from TikTok, and it was supposed to make you laugh. And I think out of the 11 videos we watched, we got shocked laughed at one of them.
One was funny. One was sort of funny. 8 were just...
Literally, we sat like this. And you know what? I'm gonna enter in this spot right now.
Are we just old?
I guess we are. I don't... Was that hilarious?
No.
I don't... That's what we were doing. That was our face the entire time. So just come on, we got to do better than that.
Damn, homosexual?
I don't blame the people, because I don't think they were the ones who thought themselves to be that funny. It was whoever
put the list
together absolutely had the worst sense of humor for us. I don't know. Some of you people out there might, as a couple people were like, I laughed my ass off from the moment I pressed play. How high? Like Whitney, how high were you? How high? Because you had to be really high in order to be...
Maybe that's it. Maybe we're sober.
Is that what it is?
I don't know.
Lord Jesus.
The sacrifices that we make for you, though. It's losing so much of our precious life. Watching a try not to laugh video stone-faced.
But anyway.
And I best not see one comment about how we're the same level of humor, goddammit.
Because
we are treasures.
Oh my God. So much treasure. Speaking of treasure, what's in your cup?
Well,
Okay.
So, before we get into it, I went did a little shopping, and I saw white wine spritzes for Pride. That sounds nice. I like wine and I like spritz. Thought it'd be great. This is the most disgusting thing I've ever tasted.
Oh, be nice in case they see this video, then they can sponsor us.
Oh, I mean, I love it. It just really puts a little pep. It puts a puff in my petticoat. I love this Pride spritz.
What is it called? Hold on, what's the brand?
Bev.
Hi, Bev. Your product was absolutely delicious. It reminds me of the Vita Vita Vegemins.
Right. Actually, let me finish this. Although it probably tastes kind of good.
The more you drink it. Do you poop out at parties?
Oh, God. Oh, God.
I'm sipping on mine. Well, what's in your now empty cup?
So, aside from that, it does kind of do the job, though, when you motorboat it. Shoot it? Motorboat? I don't know. I guess I am tipsy. We were talking upstairs about what to do, and then randomly, somehow got on the conversation of American Horror Story, and I thought, you know what, Peacock? I call myself Peacock. You know what, Peacock? Let's do a countdown. They're real pops on the YouTubes. So, we're going to count down our 5 favorite seasons of American Horror Story on FX or Hulu or whatever you pirate it from.
I'm sorry. I just got amazed and I've just now realized he has a pillow with a quote from Trixie Mantel.
Oh, you've never seen that?
Says, "This whole hallway smells like..."
You've never seen that?
I love quoting that. This whole hallway smells like comb.
Yeah. I don't believe you didn't. You know, in fact...
that is now part of our...
Or the set that'll change as soon as we figure out what to do with that.
Exactly.
Okay. I don't believe all the times you've been down here you never noticed that.
I always kept saying the word, but I'd never put it together.
You're just like, that pillow says come.
Why?
Why
Why
not?
does it say that? Definitely gonna have to mark this. It's not appropriate for children too.
Fuck kids.
Oh.
I mean, not literally, but...
No, don't say that. Otherwise, they'll start banning us from doing stuff. Anyway, that's a whole other conversation. Let's get started.
Okay, you go first. So you'll say, and then
We'll
you'll talk
do
about
top 5. Like we'll take turns doing our top 5. So I'll do my number 5,
and then I'll do
you
it.
number 5, just to see if they match, and I'll do 4, so on and so on. So in 5th place, I had Apocalypse.
In 5th place, I had Apocalypse.
Did you really?
Yeah.
Which is what launched this whole thing.
Yeah, because Michael talked about how much he hated it, and I was like, oh, he won't mention this one at all.
It's not that I hate it. So I anything with witches, I love.
As two witches.
So I love it. But okay, my 2 main points was they brought back the beautiful and wonderful Angela Bassett, but she literally played no role in the outcome of the thing. She killed the old voodoo queen. They could have did that themselves.
Well, after they resurrected her.
Yeah. They could have did that themselves.
I was like, why?
I don't know. They just could have did that themselves. She literally did nothing Even when she was like, I'm going to hold him off. And no, you didn't even hold him off for a full 30 seconds. And then for me, I just felt it was very anticlimactic because they built up the new Supreme like throughout the show that she was showing signs of doing things that no other witch has ever been recorded doing, was able to do a spell that was considered a myth twice, under distress. And, they have this powerful adversary who's literally the son of Satan. So, like, for me, if the current Supreme is not strong enough to take that person on, and never was going to be, then my thought process was, oh, this new witch must be some sort of, like, half-breed. She's half witch, half something celestial. Something that's going to be, once she awakened as a Supreme, was going to be on par, if not better, have more powerful than Michael. And the bitch went to the pass and ran him over.
I didn't mind. I mean, we disagree on this. I didn't necessarily mind that. I was kind of like, well, why are you trying to tell two different stories, I guess? I mean, it was just very convoluted of, like, 5 episodes of, like, the bunker stuff? Mm-hmm. Just for that to not matter at all? And I was like, I mean, so Sarah Paulson can play another character?
I should have had, like, 7 characters in it.
I don't know. It was just weird. But it did give us the greatest episode that should have incited 1,000 spinoffs of Emma Roberts and Billy Porter going to haunted houses.
Yes. And then the characters in there I absolutely love. Jessica's character.
Oh, yeah, Jessica Lange.
Lange.
Constance was there.
I love Sarah Paulson, and I love Jessica Lange, and I think that they are absolutely brilliant. But there's just, I wish she had came back as the Supreme. Like, that just for some reason she popped up as the Supreme. You know what I thought originally was thinking that they were going to do was kind of have her pull like a Buffy and like draw from like the original Supreme, because generally, from my understanding, the first Supreme, which was in Roanoke, came out in Roanoke, was the most powerful, and kind of like it diluted, much like the Slayer line in Buffy, how it kind of dilutes a little bit, but starts to grow again as you get older, I guess is kind of how it is. Mm-hmm. I thought that was kind of what she was going to do, was like just pull upon, like she had the ability to draw upon the powers of all the collective witches, which would amplify hers to his level. Kind of deal. I was like, if they're not going to do the Celestial and keep with the Supreme thing, then she's just going to pull a Buffy in that episode where they all merged as one and she became Super Buffy. Like, she would just pull on all the powers of the original Supremes and boom, there you go. Bitch, I'm all the Supremes. I'm pulling all the powers from all the witches. Because that's what I can do. I can amplify my own powers to almost godlike levels. That would have been even better than the Celestial thing, because it would have kept true with the whole theme of these were just witches. She just had the power to amplify hers by calling on, temporarily, the powers of the past witches and whatever. But, okay. Anyway, sorry. I went on another tangent.
No, I mean, my main problem with Apocalypse, other than the first 5 episodes just not really mattering, are that it just wasn't scary.
No.
Like, there was no horror in My American Horror Story. It was just American Story. But yeah, I mean, honestly, the Emma Roberts, Billy Porter episode kind of saved the whole thing.
They were made to play off each other. It was beautiful.
Yeah.
Sassy Black Queen and the diva.
Yeah, and Chanel.
All right, ready for number 4?
I am.
Number 4 for me was Cult.
That is not on my list.
What is your number 4?
My number 4 is 1984.
Well, I guess I'll go a little bit. I'll try to make it fast. The only reason I love Cult is because, well, 3 reasons. 1, the gay sex scene.
The gay sex scenes, yeah. Yeah.
Number 2, Sarah Paulson. I'm a big fan of powerful women, especially women who not just escape a situation, but it's like Think Halloween H2O when she went back and said, no, Michael, I'm coming for you. I love that type of thing. You know, we don't run from it. You pissed me off. You bullied me over. Now it's time to get my revenge. And Sarah Paulson's character got her revenge. I think she was a cop.
Sarah Paulson's character?
No, the black woman.
Oh.
Because I know when he went to jail, there was the bigger black lady that he thought that he conned into being on his side. But
no,
there was
she was a news anchor, wasn't she?
A news anchor.
Yeah.
Like, I love powerful women. I love powerful scenes like that. And just Sarah Paulson's character through that whole arc, overcoming her trauma. And not just, I'm just going to leave, but she said, I'm going to take them apart and destroy the whole thing from within. I love it. Love it. Why you're
1984. Well, ever since the first season, I had said they needed to do American Horror Story Summer Camp. Because it's such a horror story. I mean, you think of Friday the 13th, Sleepaway Camp, even though the ending's a little problematic. And, you know, just other things like that. It just made perfect sense. It did get off the rails a little bit. And it kind of did that thing where, like, oh, the writers don't know the story because now they're kind of contradicting a few things. But I just thought it was good. It was the 80s. Everyone had crimped side ponies. I thought the characters were really good. It was scary at certain points. I mean, not like, oh my god, terrifying, but I mean, there was a few scares. Mm-hmm. Even the guy from Glee wasn't bad.
Which guy?
The
Oh!
The guy.
Oh, yeah, the teacher, Mr. Shu.
Sure.
Because he had the huge
part
in
the show.
You touched on something that I wanted to kind of bring up when it comes to American Horror Story. I do appreciate that 1984 did not have any, as far as I remember, you can correct me if I'm wrong, but they didn't have any connecting ties to the previous stories.
Well, they did. So Richard Ramirez, who shows up in Hotel because he was the Zodiac killer in American Horror Story lore, and shows up there like really old, but in 1984,
well, never mind now.
He like is there, but they kill him in the park,
right?
And so he's somehow really young.
But he was stuck there.
Yeah. So then how?
So
yeah, it just threw I think their timeline off. But honestly, I think that might have been the only connection.
Well, originally when American Horror Story came out, it was the whole concept was it was going to be a different story told each season.
Yeah.
Same cast, just in different stories. And then the audience started trying to, after the second or third one, they kept trying to connect, you know, coming up with theories and stuff to connect the seasons. And then the people behind American Horror Stories kind of was just like, oh, we're generating a lot of buzz because of these theories and stuff. So let's go ahead and add it, you know, tie it in, and we'll connect them all. And I kind of think that was where they should have not done it, because then they started running into one person playing 3 or 4 different characters in one episode. You kind of, I don't know, it always leaves me wondering, like, you don't recognize it looks like the Supreme? You don't? No, that didn't look like the Supreme team. Oh, okay. That's weird. That doesn't look like your old Supreme. None of these people look like...
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't really ever mind that. I mean, that's kind of like the lore stuff that I like in also in video games or whatever.
Right.
But I mean, he had always said, well, they're all in the same universe.
Yeah, they're all in the same universe, but
and
they weren't supposed to be connecting. Like, there were literally supposed to be different themes every season. And then because of people, I just would have liked the idea of it just being. I think they almost tried to do that with that American Stories. Did you ever watch those?
I did watch those.
Did
I didn't like them.
They were like the gay try to make us laugh videos. They were dry.
The one was kind of funny. The one of the
one?
YouTubers with Nico Greetham. The other guy from Glee was in it. The one from Pose who played. He played Pray Tal's boyfriend. But that one was kind of funny. But then 3 of them connected to Murder House.
Yeah,
Yeah.
We'll see how this new season goes. But anyway, you go ahead and finish it.
But yeah, no, and I think it was like Angelica Ross was like Chef's Kiss in 1984. Like the guest stars were fine, and it was a season without Sarah Paulson, and I like Sarah Paulson,
right.
But sometimes it's like, okay. We get it. And also, I don't think Evan Peters was in it. Like, it was a season without, like, the American Horror Story people that I thought was pretty good.
Number 3. Mine was Roanoke.
Roanoke is on my list, but it's not my number 3. My number 3 was Hotel.
Oh, I did like Hotel. But I liked Roanoke. One, it introduced the first witch, Miss Lady Gaga herself. I like the idea. I love the idea of, because I watch a lot of crime documentaries and unsolved mysteries and stuff on YouTube, and it felt a lot like that. These people were telling their stories while actors were acting it out, and then they all came together, for the next season and stuff. But okay, we're going to pause,
Okay.
but don't turn it off. I have to run to the bathroom. Like, badly. But don't turn it off.
Okay.
I'll just edit it.
Well, while he's there, I'm just going to surf on my phone. See if you find anything interesting. I don't think that's one of my people. Y'all been good? I haven't been up to anything. Other than, well, I haven't left my house because it's been 58,000 degrees. I'm not about that life. That's not the essence I'm trying to invoke, is, dying in my car because of the heat. I'm not the one, nor am I the 2 or 3. So, just been staying inside with the dog. Been rewatching Scream Queens, the greatest queer show of all time. Not really. It's actually, so I'm sure some people probably are like, have some issues with it. But that's where we've been. Put in the comments how you've been. Oh God, I just realized it's like that episode of Family Guy where they're doing like basically the real world, and Peter, like anytime the camera walks up, is like, so I don't think there's anything wrong with having a little bit of a stretched out belt on your underwear and just talking nonstop about nothing to fill the silence. So that's where we are right now, is praying that this isn't going to be like this for Michael when he's editing, because he's going to wind up leaving this in so I look stupid. And if he does, I want you all to comment below that I was right, because I have a feeling that's how this is going to go. Oh. drink that doesn't suck ass.
grandma, my body's just falling apart.
Are you guys gonna say you good, or are you gonna die? Like,
no. I really just want to go home after this. We'll pick up here in 3, 2, 1. Sorry, we have to take a quick break for things.
Oh, you're sweating. You a fan?
Baby.
Jesus.
Baby was giving birth. Lord.
No more chili cheese fries?
No more chili cheese fries and no more. I had the audacity to have both a strawberry and a chocolate frosty.
Oh yeah, actually, your stomach that like ice cream in general. Your stomach was probably like, listen here, ho. I am still in charge of the shit.
Ew, literally.
I hate you.
Where were we at? Where were we at?
So you had done your number 3, Roanoke. I said my number 3 was Hotel. You talked a little about Roanoke.
Oh.
And then we had to stop.
Oh yes. Oh, so I'm
Do you have
talking
more to say about Roanoke?
Yeah. I love the whole that whole back and forth thing, and I felt like the villain, like this brought back the scary for me, that it was starting to lose a little bit. Well, maybe not lose a little bit, but like this was really scary. I love the Butcher, like the whole thing was just scary, and it brought in a little history lesson too. So it was all in all, I enjoyed it a lot.
So my number 3 was Hotel. It was just. You could tell at first it was almost like a stunt of, oh shit, Jessica Lange's not going to be anymore, so we need something to like catch people's attention, and that something was Lady Gaga.
Lady Gaga.
But I thought it was I thought it was good. I thought like the scenery was good. I wish they would have had a trans actor play Liz Taylor, but I get that Dennis O'Hare is a national treasure. I thought of all the seasons, it probably had the like most visually appealing adult scenes. And there were parts of horror that were there, like with the addiction demon and
that addiction demon.
the addiction demon and like the little vampire kids. Like even though they didn't do anything, was creepy as shit.
And Angela Bassett as a vampire.
Angela Bassett as a vampire, and one of my favorite gifts of all time. I sent this once to a friend I went to college with. Hi, Becca. Well, she was in class, and it's the gif of Dennis O'Hare and Kathy Bates just walking down a hallway shooting guns. My favorite gift to use.
I love it.
Yeah.
All right.
Oh, and the guy that was the main guy, super attractive. The one that was in American Beauty, Wes Bentley.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. You're number 2.
Coven.
Oh, also Coven.
Yay!
We synced up again.
We did. Yes, I just once again, witches, Jessica Lange, Angela Bassett. I mean, it just all in all, delicious, beautiful, wonderful, well acted. Just, I can't. I love it. I love it so much.
Yeah. How the Emmys did not just throw every statue they had at Angela Bassett for that season, I will never understand. But I mean, all the teen witches were like, Gabourey Sidibe, so good as Queenie. Mm-hmm. Emma Roberts. Madison was such a good character. But I mean, just fucking Myrtle Snow.
Myrtle Snow.
Just saying off the... I mean, that's going to be Katya in 50 years.
Oh, there's your future. There's
So...
your future. Yeah, it is... Mwah. Mwah. And it would have taken my top spot if it wasn't for one thing. And we'll get into that. Despite this displayed a lot of strong women. But my number 1 still holds true to my heart. Did you say all you needed to say about
Coven? I mean, yeah, I think we kind of hit it. So what's your Michael's number 1?
Asylum.
That was. I mean, it's my number 6, but I had to bump it, so it is not my number 1. But I'll say mine in a minute.
Okay, so I love Asylum because it was my. Oh my god! I truly fell in love with all of the characters in that season, all of the actors in that season, and once again, you had Sarah Paulson, who is lesbian in real life, playing a lesbian in character, who did what she needed. Like her ambition got the best of her, but she didn't let it take it. She didn't let it get her. And the fact that, you know, once again, you had a situation where she could have just walked away from it, but she said, "I'll be damned. You done put me through all of this torture. You done violated me. You have done everything you can to try to break me and almost kill me. And I could have just run away and let it go, but nope. You know what? Nope. I'm chasing you down. I'm chasing you down. Oh, and the son that I had. Oh, now you want to try to kill me? You know what? Nope. Boom, boom. Handled both of them like a boss, and I absolutely freaking love that. I just loved everything about it. Even though it was a bit crazy, we had Nazis and we had aliens. We had a little bit of a lot of stuff thrown into one, but it worked. It worked for me.
Yeah, that season I feel like the writing room was like, why not?
Why not? But for me, it worked.
Yeah, I will say, one of, if not the best, Lily Rabe.
Yes.
I mean, going from the nun to like demon possessed nun.
Oh,
she was so good in that.
So good.
But yeah, that was what you said of like there was a bunch and that it worked for you. For me, it was like there was a bunch, and so I still to this day don't quite know what everything was, because it was like, oh, there's the mutant things, then there's aliens, then there's the devil, and then there's all 80,000 other things, and I feel like I don't know how all of it resolved. But
touche.
Good pit, good choice.
Well, like I said, it was literally just the last few episodes of just seeing her be badass to both her tormentors, the place that tormented her, and then the one who came back to try to torment her.
Yeah.
It was just wonderful. I love seeing women in that position. You're not going to take her. All right, and what's your number 1?
Well, you've already talked about it. If you'll notice, I was silent. It is Roanoke.
Mm-hmm.
It is hands down the scariest season. Like, it's like actually frightening. And if I'm watching a horror show, I want it to be scary. And Roanoke is, to me, by far the scariest season. And they did something that not a lot of shows do well to me, which was they were able to use different times and have it all somehow flow together in a way that worked. Because I think we've talked about this. This may have been on the trial run when we didn't post that episode. It'll go on Patreon when we're about something. But like the reason Once Upon a Time did not work for me, like I tried so hard, was I could not deal with the fucking constant time jumps. And I was like, I don't care what happened back then. Like, show me once, but it's like every episode we're constantly back and forth. I don't care. Had it been something like this, like I thought that the documentary thing was actually a really clever way to do that. Mm-hmm. And it's always so weird to me that you go online to read like people's like opinions and they hated it. And I'm like, oh, I thought it was so good. Kathy Bates is the butcher, and then having her sort of be this other villain who kind of thinks she is the butcher. I will say it did mungle up some of the lore, because it's like, well, was Lady Gaga the first Supreme, or was she the actor playing the first Supreme? So then whenever that character comes back, who's playing it? Or like I don't know, it's like stuff like that, which I was fine with. But it was so good, and it was the first, and I like Sarah Paulson, but it was the first season that she died. Because there was always a thing that like she can't die in any of the seasons, and it was so ingrained that it kind of caught you off guard of like, oh, A more satisfying ending. The only way it could have been better is if no one lived at the end. Like, and just everyone died and no one lived. Plus, cameo from world famous and tolerated drag queen Trixie Mattel, and the guy whose name I don't remember, who she hosted the recap show
Trixie
with.
Mattel was in it.
Yeah.
Why have I not realized this?
She was the moderator for the panel that they did.
I'll have to rewatch that again.
Yeah,
because
her and the guy was who she co-hosted the little recap show on YouTube with. That could be us one day.
I love how it's number 3 on my list, but yet I did not realize that. Well, you get a lot of those shows where you're like, they were on there, and you're like, oh, it was.
And I mean,
Plus,
it was the best of Dina Porter. I mean, just everyone did their
Trixie
best.
Yeah.
She was in it for a minute, 3 minutes. I mean,
okay. Well, in all honesty, I probably didn't know about Trixie back then because I'm not really into RuPaul's Drag Race. So I know about Trixie now because of the Trixie and Katya thing. Well, technically, I know about Trixie because of Willem's music video to Arlene. Yeah. And that's when I first learned about Trixie. And then I was like, oh, she's the one with the... Okay.
Yeah, that's...
The makeup.
Yeah, so this wasn't on our list, but one quick final question, Michael.
Mm-hmm.
What is your least favorite season of the 10? Mine's toss-up. I gotta think about it.
I mean, I already know one of you. I know one of yours. And it's kind of one of mine, too, but I'm trying to go through my head to remember.
Yeah. One of mine, for sure, while you're thinking, for sure is Freak Show. It's the only season I was not able... I couldn't get into it. The scenes in the van, where it was like, it's a little close to home. I don't know if I like that. And I just didn't... I didn't like the story. I didn't like any of the characters. So, I mean, I was rooting for no one. I thought it was just a way for them to be like, look, we can give Sarah Paulson 2 heads, and it looks convincing. But it was also a little bit of I don't know. I had a problem with and I get that historically people call people like that freaks. I get it. But I was like, I don't know. It doesn't sit well with me. So that's one of them. But the other one is double feature.
I would have to say that is mine too. I was getting ready to say double feature.
The first half, I wasn't really. It was kind of it drug on too long, and I watched it with friends, and one of them, she hates Lily Rabe, and so the entire season was just her talking shit about Lily Rabe. And I just the first one went on too long, and the second one I was like, oh, it's already done. That was kind of the interesting of the two, was the alien babies thing. And again, Angelica Ross.
Angelica Ross is fabulous.
Give her
She's fabulous.
every award.
She is fabulous. I do not like... I already think that they cut too many episodes. Already.
In a season?
In a season. And so you get into these situations where characters aren't being fleshed out well enough for you to really give a care about them. But then they have to rush things along because they're putting characters in situations that any normal person would get out of there. How many times since the first episode did they encounter some vampiric weird stuff? It was just, oh, it's nothing. It's nothing. All this stuff is going on. It's nothing. We have nothing to worry about. We're going to stay here a little bit longer. I don't like shows that do that. When it's blatantly obvious that evil stuff is going on and the main characters refuse to accept it when it's blatantly going on in their face. For instance, and I wrote a comment on Facebook about this because somebody had did a recording. There was one scene where the guy was outside and he was being surrounded by all the little vampire-like things, and he's like, whoa! And the next thing was him shopping. Nothing just he didn't encounter any of that stuff, and it's just things like that. I was just like,
if I wanted that to be the experience I watch on TV, I would just walk to the store. I mean, it had there were good parts to me, and only me, just me, just me. But to me, the first it just seemed like the first story was sort of like that's what they wanted to be the season, but it wasn't long enough, and they went, let's stretch on this weird ass alien thing that's 3 or 4 episodes to the end. Because this that part they didn't flesh out shit.
No.
Like they did nothing. The first part, they kind of did that with like the writer and like again Francis Conroy or like drag Evan Peters and giving Juice Newton realness in the show or whatever.
Yeah.
Like some of like it felt like they tried to flesh it out but they couldn't stretch the story, which was weird because at least 2 of them were 2 hours. And then the alien part, it was like, oh, it's done. I don't know shit about these people. Like, I don't know if I was supposed to like them. I think I was. And the only person that I liked was Angelica Ross as the alien.
Oh, she was perfect with the long fingers.
And then again, they did the weird time thing. With, like, we could have lived without some of the... Like, they could have just said it in the past and done the Eisenhower stuff. I mean, the guy who played Richard Nixon was actually really good because every time he came on, I rolled my eyes, which would be true if that were actually Richard Nixon. Mm-hmm. But yeah, it was just a lot. And I think it probably is my least favorite. That over Freak Show. At least Freak Show was a story.
Yeah. That double feature was definitely not.
No.
Nah, and like I said, like we pointed out earlier, the least favorite out of anything American Horror Story is the American Horror Stories.
Yeah, the only one that was good. I mean, I laughed at the YouTuber one, but was the one with Cody Fern in the forest, where he's like the forest ranger, and the little girl goes missing overnight, and they think that someone killed her, but then she turned into like a cannibal or something.
Yeah.
That was the only one, because again, it was the only one that was kind of creepy.
Yeah.
But yeah, I couldn't get into it. American Horror Stories. I hope they're not doing that again. Like, let's just focus all our attention on American Horror Story. What do you hope for a future one? He's already said at some point they're going to do more witches.
I don't know. I don't know. I actually want them to do a horror story.
Yeah, I want it to be like Roanoke. I want it to be scary.
Exactly.
Or Asylum. Asylum was also scary.
I want the scariness of Roanoke with the storytelling of the murder house and the pacing of Asylum.
I will say the cool thing about Murder House, and it wasn't on either of our lists, was like, I loved that the promotional stuff, there was like Easter eggs of like, oh, there's a doll, what does the doll mean? Mm-hmm. Like that sort of stuff, super into. That would be cool to kind of bring back rather than not, but I don't know, like I said, I know they're doing more witches at some point. I almost kind of think that should be its own show.
Yeah.
And take it out of the rotation of American Horror Story.
Yeah. I tell you what I don't want them to do. Because they started getting ridiculous with it. Murder House was great about people dying. Once they die, they're stuck in there. Yay. Then we moved to the hotel. And then once people died in the hotel, okay, they're stuck there. Mm-hmm. Okay, well, I'm glad we're done with the... Oh, no, we're going to 1984. Where literally just about everybody was killed. And they're stuck there. I don't want that theme. I would like for them to stop with that theme. Just because it's been done 3 times, and the last time, in my opinion, like, it was like everybody just, you get to stay as a ghost, you get to stay as a ghost, everybody gets to stay as a ghost kind of ordeal. And I was just like, okay, we done did 3 seasons of this. Let's find a new theme. Let's retire this one at the height of its-ness, and then let's move on to, let's pick something else. And I kind of want them to not touch witches for a while. In my head, because I would like to see some new witches and new things. Yeah. I mean, it's oftentimes been reactionary. Like Cult was sort of not supposed to be season 7, and then the 2016 election went the way that it did, and Cult sort of became what that was. I'm surprised that Double Feature wasn't about a pandemic.
Like, I could see them doing, like, zombies.
Well, you know, it's probably what the next one's going to be.
Because they haven't really done that, and that's kind of the last... Because they've done slashers, they've done ghosts, they've done witch... I mean, they've hit all the horror tropes, but they haven't really done zombies. And I could see that being the next one.
How would they put their own spin on it, though? Because I'm pretty sure, look, with the way the world is going right now...
Well, I guess they did do zombies. The writer part of Double Feature. I mean, because they
were they zombies
vampires.
or were they vampires? I thought they were like people.
I don't
well,
know. It's weird.
They were a different kind of vampires. I don't know.
I don't know. But we're curious. Throw in the comments, you know, what your favorite is. That I was correct and Michael's list was wrong. What you think will happen in the future.
And all that jazz.
And we will see you soon. No, it's still going.